Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you've been having a great weekend. And before we get to the main topic, just something quick to clarify. In yesterday's video about Dragon Age the Veilguard, I had a few comments asking me about the gameplay. And for the record, the gameplay is from the official Veilguard gameplay trailer. I personally have no interest in playing that game myself, so yeah, that's not my gameplay. And now, moving on to the main topic. So on October 29th, Yamato Taro, the Japanese politician famously known as the otaku politician, made a post detailing how the United Nations was coming after Japan for their anime and gaming industries and claiming that those industries were discriminating against women, to which he responded essentially saying that the claims were baseless and misrepresenting Japan and also extremely unfair, even going on to request a retraction. Interestingly enough, for the last number of years, Japan has also been receiving increasing pressure from Western payment processors, and it seems highly unlikely that these two things occurring are coincidental. And so I just saw this post on Kotaku in Action titled New United Nations Report Admits the Anime Industry Could Easily Collapse. It's also important to note that the stuff I briefly mentioned earlier is only scratching the surface. The UN has been coming after Japan for their ACG industry for years. Comicbook.com summarized an area of the report which reads, "The working group also expressed concern about the significant difficulties observed in addressing deeply embedded harmful gender and social norms, which was particularly evident in the workplace discrimination and harassment experienced by women, indigenous people, Barku people, persons with disabilities, migrant workers, and LGBTQI+ persons, among other groups. Government and business initiatives to promote diversity and inclusion and to safeguard the rights of these at-risk groups are crucial moving forward." They then went on to attempt to tie these issues to the anime industry as well, citing, for example, the extremely low pay that many animators face, but also making a vague statement about not receiving the necessary protections. Regarding the pay at least, unfortunately many animators do indeed face extremely low pay and very strenuous work hours. They went on to also talk about issues in the idol industry, which certainly does also seem like fair criticism. However, it's also very clear in my opinion that there's a bad faith attempt to conflate these issues with the aforementioned ones that can easily be seen as a push for DEI and ESG policies which are currently failing more and more in the West. And there are certainly better solutions to the issues affecting the anime and idol industries, rather than adopting failing DEI ESG policies, and it comes off as a very disingenuously proposed solution. Furthermore, while Japan is a member of the UN, this attempt at policing them seems extremely bizarre because there are easily over a dozen other countries in the UN that treat the aforementioned minority groups infinitely worse than how they're treated in Japan, in which the UN has been critiqued by many for being essentially useless, as those people would say, in their attempts to improve human rights in those countries, making this report against Japan appear as if it might be an attempt to save face from those failures. Some may also argue that there could be a financial incentive here as well, as DEI and ESG policies continue to fail in the West, and those who are proponents of said policies may then seek to get Japan to further adopt them out of desperation. Indeed, some Japanese corporations and ACG have adopted those practices more and more, notably Square Enix, who has been making the news routinely for their recent financial failures ever since doing so. And of course, Square has other issues going on as well, however, their delving into DISG is certainly on the list of issues. And that's it for the summary of this news. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed my coverage, please consider liking and or subscribing. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.